Order thing.
I'll make a motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
Frank DiVittorio,
Yes.
John Daniel Garian, John Exnicius, Elizabeth Hollywood,
Yes.
Cassie Reagan,
Yes.
Evan Singer,
Yes.
Brian Wong.
All right. Based upon some communication and recommendations from the consultant and the evaluation that's been done in terms of the roles of the staff and employees, we've come for consideration moving Michelle up to co-executive director. And I think, based upon communications, I think that's what is up for discussion now. Is there any discussion or a motion?
Have y'all decided how we're gonna split our responsibilities?
So there's going to be you will be co-equal employees that answer directly to the board. The consultant's report will be forthcoming on Friday, we've been told. And based upon recommendations contained in that, it'll be further discussion. Y'all can have some communication between the two of you, and if there's any additional direction or procedures beyond the report, we can address that at the next board if we need more detailed procedures.
So when are the staff gonna see the consultant report?
As soon as we-
Because for me, I didn't even meet with the consultant, I met with an assistant, and this was never questioned on the responsibilities of the DDD, how I work. I was never questioned on any of that. So I would like to know, I guess, why the consultant report was done without the input of the executive director.
The consultants did meet with you, Chelsea.
And I had an assistant consultant that met with me for 10 minutes and then asked to have another meeting with the head of the consulting firm. That never happened. Their communication never came through the office, and we were told that they were reporting directly to you. So I had a 10-minute conversation with an assistant. I never got to speak on the responsibilities that I've done over the past 7 years as director. I didn't get to talk about any of our processes, the holes that I see as a director. I was never questioned on any of that.
To save you all some time, I don't have interest in being promoted to co-director.
Hi, Erica Hemphill with Angie Designs and Construction. Obviously, we know we're going live at this point. I didn't know that earlier, but now I do. How do y'all see this working with two ladies in the office that share the same role, per se, even if you give them a job description? And I'm sitting here looking at a business owner. If I have a administrative assistant and a secretary, and then I let them be co-counterparts, who answers to who? Who gives direction to who?
They answer to the board. They have
So every time
separate
that Chelsea or Michelle has a
responsibilities.
question, or if she needs Michelle to do something, or Michelle to have Chelsea do something, if they don't agree on whose job task that is, they're supposed to stop and call you and ask you?
There's co-employees with every, I'm sure your business has co-employees. This is not some foreign thing. that's
Not as
never
a
been heard.
director of a large,
It doesn't, we don't even have to debate this. If Michelle's not interested in the job, then we can just move on.
I think that was a silly request.
All right.
Thank you for
Thank
your
you.
input.
All right, next item on the agenda.
Well,
No?
okay.
What?
Okay.
I will gladly reconsider if there was a more structured request and there were recommendation or motion made, and there was a more holistic thought process to how the leadership of the DDD is structured, and your position as chairman.
Understand that. Well, there's no way to to make all that happen tonight, so there's nothing further to do on that.
So we are going to move on, and
Michelle, can you elaborate on what you mean by you would reconsider under certain circumstances, but then yet with Frank's position as chair? So that we're clear on what that expectation is, if they're to give you some leadership, more of a lead or more of a job description or a layout of what that looks like.
would you like me to answer that question? Question from the public?
If you want to answer that question, yes.
My ask is that Frank resign as chairman and that our staff roles at the DDD be reflective of an environment that I can work with Chelsea, and I also have some independence in decision-making pertaining to particular work areas. I don't think that we're going to come to a resolution on this tonight, and so I guess unfortunately with that, unless the board would like to move on to the next agenda item to discuss this with Chelsea,
Let me move to table this. Let me move to table this, and let's go to the next item first. And we'll come back to this maybe. I understand what you're, just
are you moving to table this to when?
till after, for a minute, just to
Okay.
take the next thing. I want to move to table this to after the next item on the agenda.
Do you have to have a second?
Yes.
Second. Chelsea, can you call roll?
Yes, hold on. Frank DiVittorio,
Yes.
John Daniel Garan, John Exnicius, Elizabeth Hollywood,
Yes.
Cassie Reagan,
Yes.
Evan Singer,
Yes.
Brian Wong.
Employment matters, Chelsea Tallow Little, executive session may be called. Chelsea, you have, as you were told and know, the absolute right to have this meeting held in the public. There are matters that are possibly not, you may not want discussed in the public. It's up to you. We can go into executive, I mean,
I'm
certainly-
only going into executive session if you're stepping out, and if you're not stepping out, then I would rather do it in public.
Stepping out of the executive session?
Yes.
I'm fine doing that. I'll step out of the executive session once we go into executive session. I don't have any problem doing that.
Okay, so I just want to be clear. You're okay doing this in executive session, or you want to keep it public?
I will do our initial conversation in executive session, but if Frank is involved, if Frank chooses to stay, then I want to do it in public.
As I said, I'm fine stepping out of the executive session.
All right.
Motion to move into executive session?
I'll make the motion.
Second? No.
Wait, so who seconded?
I moved it, Elizabeth seconded it.
Okay, there you go.
Wait, I thought
Frank moved, Elizabeth seconded.
Frank DiVittorio,
Yes.
John Daniel Garan, John Exnicius, Elizabeth Hollywood,
Yes.
Cassie Reagan,
Yes.
Evan Singer.
Yes.
Brian Wong.